Hi guys, welcome to the video. This is a Sanji deck list for the EB02 format. This deck list has had one change since the OP10 format, and we'll go through that in just a second. But going straight into it, we'll begin with 4 Otama, staple in red, 2k counter, 4 2 cost Sanji. I believe this could be considered a staple as well. Very good for turn 1 when going second. Run 3 of the OP10 chopper blockers. This is good as an emergency blocker, as well as having that 2k is always necessary. And then final 2ks is 3 of the Sanji OP21 select up to 1 6,000 power or more, gets unblockable. This is our Diablo Jambe for the list, because we don't run the actual Diablo Jambe. So the actual Diablo Jambe is a waste of a vanilla kind of card where no counter. We're looking for as much counter as possible because we're going to protect the board as much as possible. For turn 1 going first, we've got 4 Koala, same as the STO1 Nami. Give up to 1 rested Don card to leader or character. Just chose this one simply because of the color palette. For turn 2, we have 4 of the ST21 Zoro. This is a staple for Sanji. I believe it's one of 3 main staples in this list. So this essentially on KO, you get to bring out 6,000 power or less. In this instance, the best scenario would be to bring out Wapol and have Wapol on turn 2 already. We then have 4 of the OP10 Sanji, where on KO draw a card, keeps hand in check, able to hit with a 6k swing, good against leaders such as RP Luffy that are on a 6, or Shanks where they use their leader ability, so we're able to swing 6 and 6 with leader. And if you have Sanji, you'd be able to swing 6, 6, 7. This is turn 2. 6, 6 applies on, if you go first, it applies for if you have the koala on board, and you'll be able to swing 6, 6. We also run 3 of the STO1 Zoro, so Don X1, this character gains 1,000 power. Good for turn 2 both ways. Either swing 6 with leader and 7 with this if going second, or can swing 5 with leader and 7 with this if you have a koala going first. This is also good as it stays at 6k on opponent's turn, hard to remove straight off the board. For turn 3, we have the second big staple of the list, which is Pelt. Don X1, KO up to 4k power or less. Is good when mixing with tech such as Wapol or Carina, which has been removed from this list, or Morgan. And then the big change in this list compared to most other lists is 3 double attack ace. This is one of those emergency Hail Marys, if necessary, going for game just before dying, trying your luck out. Also acts as the best pseudo blocker as a 5 cost, better than the ST21 Luffy because a double attack is always more dangerous. As the third big staple of this list for Wapols, this you'll see in every Sanji list. Don X1, give up to 1 opponent. Opponent's character is minus 2,000 power during this turn, and then he gets plus 2k until the end of the opponent's next turn. Absolutely broken card when given rush with Sanji. I then run 3 Beckman. I think it's better than Rayleigh simply for the fact that we're not necessarily aiming to control and not be able to attack on the same turn. So as long as this has a 1k counter and able to trash certain characters that can't be KO'd, I reckon it's better. We run 2 Dragon. A lot of people run the Banish Luffy. I completely get that. I think Banish Luffy is probably best into Teach, but then again, this is already favorable into Teach, so I run Dragon instead. Also works well with, since it has Rush, if necessary you can swing with the on-play, give 2 to leader. Swing 7 leader, bring in Sanji, 7 with Sanji, and then 9 to finish off with Dragon. The final character is 1 Roger, that emergency Diablo Jambe, especially if we've been able to clear the rest of the board. Good to swing with 13 and 5, 6s, so on and so forth. And then for events, we took out 2 Carina Blockers, which on play give minus 2k, and we decided to bring in 2 Gum Gum Amol Pistol. These are essential for the GP Luffy matchup. Without this, it's very difficult to remove Sanji Pudding early on, and you have to remove it as quick as possible, or else you're kind of screwed. And then lastly, we run 1 of each: Guard Point, Radical Beam. Guard Point more so for the being able to always rely on a 3k and then rad beam for an emergency if necessary. If we have this in hand, we're able to counter out 4k for if we're low on life. So that's the list. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave a comment and I'll reply as much as possible. Thank you.